back with Smith's G5 Football Review. We're going to do the same thing as last week. This will be a two-part video again. First, part one will be the weekday games that will be uploaded today on Tuesday. And then either Wednesday or Thursday, part two for Saturday's games will be uploaded. So let's go ahead and start. So first game is South Alabama at Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern looking to bounce back after a loss to Coastal Carolina. South Alabama is looking to improve their record. Georgia Southern is favored in this game by 5.5 points. The over-under is 50.5. My player to watch is Shai Werts. He's 40 for 76, 558 yards, 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Passing on the year and rushing, he has 60 carries for 333 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, in my opinion, Georgia Southern, they are a good football team, but I think if Shai Werts steps up his game a little bit, I think they could be a very good football team. And my first thing for this game, Shai Werts needs to take command of the offense and get them going. Last week, they only scored 14 points, and it was against a team that had to play their backup quarterback. Granted, Coastal Carolina is a good football team, but I would imagine they would have been able to put up more than 14 points. But I think they are still a good football team. They need to, like I said, Shai Werts definitely needs to get the ball rolling a little bit more and play more efficiently. When he doesn't throw too much because he runs that triple option style of offense, 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions really isn't that good. When you do pass the ball, you want to be really effective. And he's been a little effective, but not too much throwing the ball. And ever since the first game, he kind of has been quiet running the ball as well. Outside really of 2 games where he rushed for 155 yards against Campbell and he rushed for 76 yards against UMass, he hasn't been running the ball really well at all. Last week he had 16 carries for 34 yards. Against UL Monroe, he had 7 carries for 34 yards. And against the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, he had 10 carries for 32 yards. So he really hasn't been efficient running the ball. Maybe a bounce back game, maybe he takes control. South Alabama really needs to force them into throwing situations. I don't know if they could win the game when they're throwing the ball a lot. We'll have to see. So, yeah, like I said, South Alabama, force them into passing situations, force them into 3rd and longs, take them out of their game. As for Georgia Southern's defense, just get to Desmond Trotter. Don't let him sit comfortably back there. Make him throw the ball early, force mistakes. I think Georgia Southern will pick up the win here. I think they'll get the bounce back win. I think they'll win 28-21. Next game is Colorado State at Fresno State. Colorado State is favored by 1.5 points. The over-under is 59.5. My player to watch is Jake Haener, the quarterback for Fresno State. Last week against Hawaii, he didn't really play well. 17 for 31, 289 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. It's Colorado State's first game, I know, but Fresno State really didn't look good versus Hawaii. Haener, like I said, needs to play much better. 1 touchdown to 3 interceptions is not going to win you games. I think Colorado State is going to take this game 33-23. Next game is number 19 Marshall at Florida International. The spread is 23.5 in favor of Marshall, and the over-under is 47.5. My player to watch here, Florida International quarterback Stone Norton. He's 17 for 32, 207 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the year. He needs to have a crazy good game because Marshall's defense doesn't give up much on the ground or in the air, but especially on the ground where they're only giving up 72 yards a game. So Florida International, I do not think is going to be able to run the ball on them. Marshall's only giving up 9.4 points a game. They are very stout and good on defense. I think Marshall's going to win here 24-6. Next game is East Carolina at Tulsa. Tulsa is favored by 18.5. The over-under is 59.5. My player to watch is Deneric Prince, running back for Tulsa. On the year, he's got 37 carries, 232 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And East Carolina gives up 212 yards a game on the ground. That is not a good statistic you want to be looking at when Deneric Prince stands the opposite sideline of you. So I'm expecting Prince to really run over East Carolina's defense. East Carolina, I'm expecting to have not so good of a day. Tulsa's a weird team to me. They're a good team, but they don't really play perfect. So I'm expecting Tulsa to win 38-17. And the final game during the weekday games is Hawaii at Wyoming. This was a tough game for me to pick. Hawaii's favorite as of now, 1.5, and you know these can change tomorrow. But right now, Hawaii is favored by 1.5. The over-under is 57.5. My player to watch, Siobhan Cordero. He's 20 for 31, 229 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions last week against Fresno State. Wyoming allowed 420 yards last week in their game. So highlighting that's a lot of yards to give up. They did only give up 70-something or so yards on the ground in that game, but still, 420 is a lot of passing yards. Wyoming needs to force Siobhan Cordero to win this game. They can't let it be anyone else. Hawaii rushed for 323 yards last week. They got to make it Siobhan Cordero to win the game because he's the first-time starter. Hawaii finally graduated their quarterback they had last year. I actually forget his name, but he's important to this game. Wyoming takes him and makes him make plays and win the game. They'll take that. They don't want to let Hawaii run for 323 yards because that will do Wyoming in, I believe. I do think they play better defense. I don't think they give up 323 yards rushing. I think Wyoming wins in a close one, 35-33. And that is it for the weekday predictions. Like I said, part 2 for Saturday's games will be out either Wednesday or Thursday. We'll see how this week's games go. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and I will see you on Wednesday or Thursday.